Hello students, welcome to the class Electrical Circuit and Networks. Myself Milan Sasmal, a faculty of Electrical Engineering Department from JS College of Engineering. So in last class we have started the Laplace transformation and for electrical circuit, and we have seen how we can check it, how we can do the Laplace transformation, what is the normal Laplace transformation, and what is the signal means, what are the step signals, and how we can design the different types of step signal. And today we'll see what is the impulse signal and what are the different types of Laplace transformation that we will see. So let's see what it. Okay, so as we seen the step function that has been started in a particular point and reached to its final value to a without any time lags, but in actual condition there may take some times to reach its final value, from its starting value to its final value. So that's why we can design the practical step function that has been started from minus IPSA time and has reached its final value, it means 1, to a positive IPSA time. So it means it takes the time minus IPSA to plus IPSA times to reach from its starting value to original value or its final value. So we can write this function as a g of t is equals to function of time as IPSA tends to 0. For IPSA tends to 0 means this time is very less, as this time is very less to reach from its starting value to initial or final value. So that's why we can say this time is, or this IPSA time, that is very less. Now imagine for the same thing, for a step signal which has been started at minus IPSA time and having reached its final value, that is half of IPSA final value times, and again it's reached to its lower value, or it changes its value to minus IPSA. And if this value or this time value, it means minus IPSA to IPSA, this time is very less, if this time is near to 0, or it means a very short time, then can we say that if we consider these types of signal, it's getting only a fraction of time, it gives a high rise of the signal, and then again it comes to 0. If we consider this IPSA to IPSA, it means this value is very 0, it means as IPSA is tends to 0. That types of signal, that is considered as a impulse signal. So that's why we can say the impulse or these types of function as a first derivative of step signal. So that's why it's written over here that use a limiting function to define the step function and its first derivative. So whenever we are first time derivating this step function, we can get the impulse function. Okay, and we can write the signal as a delta of t. So delta, that denotes the impulse signals, so delta of t. And we can write the signal as a integration of minus infinite to plus infinite time, and as a delta of t dt is equals to 1. And this time, as we have seen, the signal value, that is approaches to 1 by half of IPSA, and as the IPSA value is tends to is very low, or IPSA value tends to 0. That's why for height of the signal, as you have seen, the height that was in like this, it means it started from minus IPSA and it goes to like that, and obviously, and this value is the half of IPSA value is over there, and that is the minus of IPSA, that is to plus of IPSA value is like that, and as these types of, this was the time t. So the height, so at height, that is 1 by twice IPSA, and IPSA value is IPSA tends to 0, as this IPSA tends to 0. So obviously this impulse will be this height of the signal, that will be very high. 1 divided by twice into 0 means 0, that is infinite. So this height or this amplitude, that is infinite. So as height is infinite, so as IPSA tends to 0, so height is infinite. So we are, one thing is clear, so we are getting the infinite height. And what will be that width? That width is, as IPSA is very closest to 0, so obviously IPSA is 0 closest to 0, so means minus closest to 0 to plus closest to 0, that means the width is near to 0. So can we say that it means the signal is at time t is equals to 0, it has a high magnitude or has its high value which tends to infinite and up with a time limits of 0. At 0 times it has a maximum value. So this is nothing but a impulse signal or a impulse function. Okay. So in another way, there is another definition also. We can directly write the impulse signal as a first derivative of step signal. There also we can write it as a first derivative. It means at the time t, as value is 1, that is t is equals to 0, there is a certain value, and if we can write in the certain amplitude, that is k, that we can write k, the signal value, that is k into delta of t. And if the signal starts after some times, or it's not started from 0, then we can write just like the step signal, and k, that is the amplitude of the signal, and delta t of a, it means after a times the signal has started, or the impulse signal is there at after a times or plus a times. Similarly, if the signal if the impulse signal is present in a circuit at suppose here, and suppose this amplitude is, suppose x is its amplitude, and at t tx time, and x is its amplitude. So what we can write? We can write the function that will be obviously unit is x, and delta stands for impulse signal, delta of at which times, t minus tx, at tx time, t minus tx, right? That we can write just like the similar way. And for the mathematical equation, that obviously just like the previous one, that we can write in minus infinite to integration of minus infinite to plus infinite times, and f of t delta of t of a minus a dt is equals to f of a. That is the function for the impulse function. Okay. Okay, here we can see some function for the Laplace transformation. It means some some function with based on the time, or the time domain function is given over here, and the corresponding h domain function, or the what will be the value for this h domain or the Laplace domain, that is given over here with their calculation. Just look it carefully, and it will be very clear, or it is very interesting thing. Okay, so Laplace transformation of delta of t means that we know delta means the impulse signal. So obviously we know the Laplace transformation means that already we have seen previously, that is integration of 0 to infinite time e to the power minus st and dt, e to the power minus st into dt. So as there is a function, the function is delta of t, so the our formula, that was integration of 0 to infinite e to the power f of t into e to the power minus of st and dt, e to the power minus st dt. That is the Laplace transformation of Laplace of f of t. If we write this Laplace of f of t, so we can write in such a way. Okay, so here the function is delta of t. As the function is delta of t, so we can write integration of 0 to infinite delta of t, that was the function, and e to the power minus st dt. So by solving, we can write 0 to infinite integration limit, and delta of t means t minus 0 e to the power minus st dt, and obviously delta of t minus 0, that we can write e to the power s into t is equals to 0, e to the power something means 1. So for impulse function, so this is one conclusion in we can write that for this impulse function, we can write for function, we can write for the function CTION, we can write the function and their Laplace transformation. So from here we can easily say that my delta of t, or the impulse function having the Laplace transformation, that is 1. Similarly, u of t, that is the step signal. So for Laplace, again, integration 0 to infinite, function is u of t and e to the power minus st dt. So again we can write u of t and e to the power st dt. And if it's a unit step, u of t unit step, so the function value u of t, that is the unit step function. So u of t, this function having the value of 1, unit function having the values of 1, as having the values of 1. So 1 into e to the power minus st dt, that is 1 by minus s into e to the power minus st, integration of 0 to infinite. So after solving this equation, we are getting 1 by s. So we can say u of t, that is the unit step function, if we consider the unit step function, and having the Laplace transformation, that is 1 divided by s, u of t, that is 1 by s. And similarly, there is one another function we have taken, that e to the power minus at. So if we take e to the power minus at, that is our time domain function. So it means this is our f of t, this is our f of t. If this is our f of t, so again we can write integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus at. It means f of t, in place of f of t we have write e to the power minus at into e to the power st dt. So we can write, after solving this equation, we are simply getting that e to the power, so the power we can add this power. So we have taken the common as a minus of s plus a into t into dt, and just like the previous one, we can write this integration form as a 1 by minus of s plus a into e to the power minus s plus a into t, and it's a limit with a limit of 0 to infinite. That limits, after putting that limit, we are getting 1 by s plus a. So we can write e to the power minus at having the Laplace transformation of 1 by s plus a, 1 by s plus a. So e to the power minus at, so e to the power minus at having the Laplace domain function, that is 1 by s plus a. Similarly, sin omega t, here we are checking some function, whatever in our minds, then the remaining one, it means after sin you can check it for a cos omega t, and you can check it as a sin hyperbolic omega t, sin hyperbolic function. You can check it as a e to the power at function, whatever you want. You can check it as a ramp function also. That is that you have to check that what will be the actual answer that you can get from over here. Similarly, if we put the Laplace of sin omega t and in the same function, and we know, and what's written over there, that is e to the power minus j omega t. We know that sin, we know this thing, that is sin at. If we write sin at, if we write sin of at, in our class 12 standard we have written, that is e to the power j a t minus of e to the power minus e to the power minus j a t divided by twice j. That is the function. So just this function is written over here, and just we have taken this common as a 1 by j by 2, because the function is e to the power minus st dt. So as there is no more t term, so we have taken common as e to 1 by j2, and taken 0 to infinite of e to the power minus s into j omega t, e to the power minus e to the power j omega t minus of e to the power minus j omega t, and multiplied with the e to the power minus st. So if we write down this function, it will be comes in as a similar way. It comes actually it comes as a 1 by j2 as a common, and then integration term, that is 0 to infinite integration, and then within the brace actually we will get e to the power j omega t multiplied with e to the power minus st, multiplied with e to the power minus of st, e to the power minus of st and minus of again e to the power minus of j omega t multiplied with e to the power minus of st and whole of dt. Now e to the power something into e to the power something, so we can add the power. So this power is added, it means e to the power j omega t minus st. So e to the power by twice j, that is written over here, and similarly and minus of e to the power minus j omega t minus of j omega t plus this one. Okay, so no problem at all. So here it's written e to the power, actually it is minus e to the power minus st and plus j omega t. So for this function, from this function e to the power minus st plus j omega t, that is written in such a way, e to the power minus st e to the power plus j omega t, and here is minus of e to the power minus j omega t e to the power minus st. So if we take the common of minus, so obviously this term comes in this way, and after integration we are getting this function. Okay, so this is our overall function, and in this side this is our overall function. Okay, so that's how we can find out the Laplace transformation of any given function. Okay, so next is what about the Laplace transformation we have seen. Next is one problem for you. So look at the function transformation table and the exponential and damped ramp transformation. So what do you predict the Laplace transformation of t square? Okay, so try to find out this one, Laplace transformation of t square, and check the answer. What is this? So everybody please check it. It's very easy. No, if you think that answer is given over here and I don't know this answer is right or wrong, I don't know, you have to check it. You people please check it. Okay, okay, so if you check it and if the answer is same, then also let me know. If the answer is not same, then also let me know in the chat box. Okay, 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 so whatever the functions are there, it maybe sine, cos, omega t, different e to the power minus at, e to the plus at, e to the power at of sine omega t, e to the power minus at of sine omega t, e to the power minus at of cos omega t. Whatever the functions are there, try to find out the Laplace equation and make a table of that. Okay, so it will be very easier to solve the next problems by helping of that table. If we have that table in our hand, then simply we can put the formula, and if there are any equation which is similar to that, and we can simply go for the inverse solution also. Okay, okay, now this is the question for you, and the question for you, that is using the table, whatever table we have defined, and those collected optimal transformation of table. Okay, so determine the effect of the various operation on time domain function when the result is Laplace transformed. These are collected in the operational transform table. Okay, so the file is given to you as a sum operation. So this is one of the property of the Laplace, that is linearity. If we can say, that is if we consider the Laplace of this one of function 1 plus Laplace of function 2 plus Laplace of function 3, that will be obviously in Laplace of whole function is equals to, we can write Laplace of first function plus Laplace of second function plus Laplace of third function, that we can write. And similarly for here the solution, that is we can write integration of 0 to infinite and obviously the overall function into e to the power minus st of dt. Okay, so we can write within a whole common and multiplied with e to the power minus st and dt, and the next line, the d to the power minus st, that is multiplied with each and every function. It means function f1, function f2 and function f3, and after that we are getting the first function. So this is our the Laplace transformation of our first function, that is integration of 0 to infinite k1 f1 of t to the power minus st dt. So from here we can see one thing, that is, if this is the Laplace transformation of the overall function, the function having, suppose Laplace transformation, we are going to suppose this is f1 of t plus f2 of t plus f3 of t, whatever. So we can say this is the Laplace transformation of the first function. Similarly, Laplace transformation of second function. Similarly, Laplace transformation of third function. And obviously we can write it. So the first function having the Laplace transformation k1 into f2, and if we consider that Laplace of a function k1 into f1 of t, and obviously we have to write that k1 is the constant term k1, and Laplace is integration of 0 to infinite, that is 0 to infinite f1 of t e to the power minus st of dt, and at the end we can write k1 and this whole function, that is the Laplace of the first function, that we can write that is as a f1 of s. Okay, so for this, for each and every function we can write k1 f1 s. For this function we can write this one, and similarly for this function we can write this function. Okay, so this is the one property of the Laplace that we have to know. Okay, so next is given that there is a function t square into e to the power minus at. Find the Laplace transform of this function. How you can do that? So we have seen in our mathematics that if a function that is given in such a way that t to the power n into f of t, and if we consider the Laplace, that will be minus of 1 to the power n into d dsn of f of s. It means nth derivative of the Laplace transformation. It means f of s, that is the Laplace transformation of f of t. So f of s comes from f of t. So after finding the Laplace transformation, we have to consider the nth derivative in terms of s. Okay, nth derivative, and minus 1 to the power n. So here, if the function is suppose if the function is e to the power minus at, then we have already checked that for e to the power minus at, the Laplace transformation that comes is 1 by s plus a. So the given function is over here, that is t square into e to the power minus at. So we know the Laplace transformation of e to the power minus at. So e to the power minus at is 1 by s plus a. So this portion, that is your over here, the f of s, over here, and your this term, that is e to the power minus at, that is your f of t, and t square, that is your t to the power n, and over here the t square, that is your t to the power n. If we consider now, imagine, and e to the power minus at, that is the f of t, and whose Laplace is f of s, that is 1 by s plus a. So as per this given formula, so minus 1 whole to the power n. So minus 1 whole to the power n means which term? That t to the power something. What is this? That is t to the power 2. So minus 1 to the power 2 into dds of how many derivative, or which derivative? That is derivative of 2, that is square. So 2 dds 2 of the f of s means Laplace transformation of f of t. Function is e to the power minus at, and Laplace transformation of this function is f of s, that is 1 by s plus a. So we have written 1 by s plus a and dds of 2. So if we again goes for the derivative for this particular part with respect to s, so obviously we are getting minus 1 square means plus 1, and dds of minus 1 by 1 by s square. It means second derivative, if we derivative it the first time, so we can write the second derivative is equals to first derivative of the first derivative. It means dds of first derivative, it means this square, it will be square 1 by n if we consider suppose dd that is of 1 divided by x or x to the power minus n, like that. So the same formula is used over here. Okay, so x to the power minus 1 formula. So and over here we are getting this types of equation 2 divided by s a plus 3. And alternative, in others way, we can also write this, that Laplace of e to the power minus at f of t is equals to f of s plus a, and we know for the t square is equals to, we know 2 by s r cube. So similarly, in one another way, that 2 by s r cube, where is t square only, but here instead of t there is t square into e to the power at. So directly you can put the value. So it's better to go for step by step for the first time, and if you are habituated, then only we can directly put the value. So no problem at all. Okay, so like that we have to find out the Laplace transformation for any given function by using the types of formula. So it's better to do all the calculation by hand and keep all the records in a particular data in a table format, and so that if regularly we go through that table and this particular formation, and what will be the result, that will be in front of our eyes, and so that it will be very helpful for our examination purpose, or for solution, for the first solution of the numerical problems. Okay, so that's all for the class, and for the next class we'll check that how we can, or we'll see how we can apply this knowledge, or this knowledge of this Laplace transformation to the electrical circuit, and how we can solve it. Okay.